Today I woke up and my first thought was, you know, it's been a while since I've had strangers tell me how wrong I am and send me hate comments. Let's remedy that. Let's just calm down. Let's not jump to any hasty conclusions. We can be friends. I've made videos before that I've thought have been neutral, you know, an outsider's perspective. And I thought I was very pleasant about it. And yet I still got really hostile comments. So I kind of am making a joke about this, but I am fully expecting people to tell me how wrong I am because that's just what people here love to do. And I've gotten used to that. I hope you'll take this video as things I find endearing. I find interesting. I don't hate them. Please understand that. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. These are just things I've noticed as an American coming here, being like, well, that's different. It's enough of disclaimers, I think. 5 things I noticed that Slovenes do that they are not aware that they are doing. Number 5. Maybe my favorite one. I've given Luka such a hard time about this, and then he's given me a hard time about the way that my culture does this. Loud whispering. The point of whispering is to say something to another person so that they're the only ones that hear you say it. I don't know if Slovenes know this, because whenever they whisper, it's like, hey, amaš robček, hey, tss. I like to call this shouting whispers. My children are exceptional at this. When they know that their little baby brother is sleeping, I will hear them from the bathroom, hey, mommy! I honestly don't know how you do it. It's so hard on the throat. This is something that I've seen happen in church, at weddings, in formal settings when you're supposed to be really quiet and someone leans over and starts talking to you and I'm like, everyone can hear you. Now, on the other hand, contrast that with Americans. We have perfected the art of whispering to the point where we can read lips without looking at them. We're so good that we know if you pronounce an S, that will carry even if you're whispering. So the S will draw attention. So you just kind of cover up the S's so that they're not really pronounced, so that you can really whisper and no one will know that you're saying something to another person. That's professional. Luka likes to tell me that last night when I told him about this video, Luka informed me that he has never understood me when I've whispered to him in his ear. Never! In our entire relationship, 10 years we've been together now, and he's never understood me when I've whispered to him. I don't know if it's just Slovenes have some form of hearing damage genetically, that they don't hear very well, so they need to whisper loudly, and maybe that's why no one seems to mind when they're whispering loudly when they're not supposed to be talking. I don't know. I just know in America, it's like, as soon as you're whispering, everybody will pounce on you and be like, what are you talking about? So you get really good at saying things in a way that no one can hear them. And I'm quite confident that I could whisper to someone in front of another person and no one would hear me, but that person would understand me if that person was an American. Number 4, sitting in the dark. What is up with this? This is something that was like, I really didn't get when I still don't get it. I still don't understand it. But when I first came here, one of the first times I had a dinner with Luka and some other people, and I remember we were sitting outside and it got darker and darker and darker. And I kept thinking, are they gonna turn on an outdoor light? Are they gonna light a candle? Or are they gonna turn, what? No, we just sat there and it got darker until we were literally sitting in the dark. We could not see each other, but we could hear each other, and they continued to talk for like another 45 minutes. But since then, this has happened multiple times across multiple locations. I've even had it gone so far so that I'm the one that turns on the lights and somebody will come behind me and turn the lights off. It's so odd to me. I'm like, maybe maybe there's something in this gardening. Maybe all the Slovenes here garden and they eat so much carrots that their night vision is like far superior to mine. I don't know. I'm gonna get on that gardening business pretty soon because I'm hoping that'll make a difference and maybe I'll be able to see in the dark like everyone else. Number three. This is a bonus one, but 3 is how we do 3 in America and 3 is how they do it here. Even though I think it's maybe turned. But you count like 1, 2, 3. And in America we count 1, 2, 3. Which makes 4 really easy. But here you go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's really hard. Okay, number 3. Have you ever gone to say goodbye to somebody in America? You're like, okay, it was nice to see you. Bye. And the other person says, bye. And then you leave. Here, that's not how it is. You go to say goodbyes to somebody and they go, oh, okay, uživajte, ciao, se vidimo, addio, yeah, ciao, ciao, okay. I didn't know there were so many ways to say goodbye, and I certainly didn't know that you're supposed to say them all together over and over again when you say goodbye to somebody. Like, I think 1 should suffice, maybe 2 if you're feeling really generous. But that's something that everybody does here. I feel a little weird. And now I feel like if I'm talking to someone on the phone and I don't say a few versions of goodbye, I'm like hanging up on them too soon. Number 2. This is something that even Luka does. We've been together now 10 years. When I first met him, his English was really impeccable. It was much more British English. Now, I guess Oxford English. Now it's much more American English. But he still, even though he speaks with me in English every day, he still does this. What is it? Interchange he and she, like pronouns he and she, not anything else really, not hers and his, but he and she. Those, for whatever reason, those 2 just get mixed up, and everybody here does this. I noticed everybody here does this. Luka still does it. Luka will say, oh yeah, my dad and I were talking and then she said well, blah, 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 blah. I used to correct Luka on this and then I eventually just gave up because he just kept doing it, and I feel like if it's just one of those things. I don't know. Maybe if you don't learn English soon enough here, that it's just like, there's just no hope for you. I don't know. It's just a funny thing that I've noticed everybody does here, is they say he and she, and I used to correct people, and now I'm like, I know what they mean. Unless I don't, because I'm confused, and then I'll ask for clarification, which happens pretty regularly. And the number 1 thing that people do here that I feel is a little bit more subtle, so maybe not everybody would notice this, and actually I think it's kind of sad. When I ask somebody, well, how are things going right now? How's school? How's life? How's the family? They'll turn to me and say, well, actually, things are pretty good. And I've noticed this more and more in the last couple years, because I think I just wasn't really paying attention before. But if they have anything good to say about their lives at all, they have to put in a actually. Because it's not okay for people to have great lives here. I think this is remnants of years past when it was like everyone was suffering, and if you weren't suffering, everyone hated you. There's the whole saying, like, if your cow dies, you're not upset that your cow died, you're upset that your neighbor's cow didn't die. And that's really telling. And still in the language today, even with young people, it's like they have to say like, actually, things are good. I know, I'm really sorry. So I just want to put this out there. If your life is going great, freaking own that. Be like, yes, my life is awesome right now. Because chances are your life is not going to be awesome every day for your entire life. There is suffering that comes in life. And when you encounter suffering, it's good to face it. And at the same time, when things are good, it's like, be like, man, I'm really fortunate right now. Things are going well. Don't apologize for that. Anyways, that's just something I've noticed. Those are some of the things I've noticed about here. What do you think? What are some of the things, if you're an expat in Slovenia, what are some of the things that you've noticed about Slovenes that they don't realize that they're doing? What are some things that Americans do? I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of things I do that I am not aware of. I know there is. So we all do that. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it made you laugh a little bit, made you think a little bit. I don't know. I hope it was a good break from your day. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.